Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Shadowrun Dragonfall. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that it chose to join me today, as I forgot about the mage that was here. I absolutely forgot about the mage that was there last episode. I did that. It was, not very smart of me. However, this was an ambush, and they really didn't like me. They were sent to kill me, apparently. The narrator knows, and the narrator told us. We didn't find anything on them, apart from an encyclopedia, but we can't really read it. It's just a thing. Doesn't look like the train will be going anywhere with access... Oh, the access bridge extended. I'm very sorry. Let's distend it then, or retract it, whatever. The mechanical bridge smoothly glides back in and angles upward, clearing the path for the train. I get the impression that there would be, especially because it's the tracks that have power, I get the impression that there would be a much better way of doing that instead of having to extend. They would just build a path overhead, right? Instead of having to have a mechanical thing. The rest of the trip, and safer as well, the rest of the trip home is uneventful, but one thing is clear. Someone is hunting you. This ambush was no chance gang warfare, but an organized attempt on your life. If Green Winters was right, then whoever killed him is now after you. The PDA that you received or retrieved from your attackers may hold some answers. It's time to return to your safe house and consult Paul Emsel. It is, indeed. And also to talk to everybody in here in the Cruise Bazaar, because that's how I do. And also, we have a new friend. Return the data to the shock from. Take the encrypted PDA. There's a lot of things over here. Still raise the things, of course. Raise the money. Let's see if we can donate some of it, though. Hello again, my friend. What can I do for you? How is Alexander doing? Yeah, that's the same as before. Are you accepting donations? The work program has been a rousing success. At this point, we only have one more goal in mind to round out the year. I have been in negotiations with Harebrained Schemes to lease another building in the Cruise Bazaar. The construction is much more modern and sturdy than our old shelter. Our people would be better protected there. In addition, the extra floor space would open up a host of new options for our organization. One other thing, Edie. If we reach this goal, I would like to name the building after you. You are, after all, our primary benefactor. With 500 nuyen, we could make the purchase. Whatever you could spare would be most appreciated. Oh, yeah, sure. Just take what you need. I got you covered. Samuel's eyes widen. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein friend. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. I don't know what to say, Edie. With this donation, we have reached our final goal. I will speak with Burak Gazi immediately and provide him his down payment. The Edie Civic Center will stand as I... It's a really bad name. I really wish I could say that. No, don't name it after me. That's dumb. It's dumb. Don't do that. Name it after you. You're the one that's doing all the work, or after like your best person or something. I don't know. After the Cruise Bazaar, it's the Civic Center. Like it's the Cruise Bazaar Civic Center. Boy. Anyway, I will speak with the ED Civic Center will stand as a monument to your generosity and care. Thank you once again. You have been a godsend to the poor of Cruise Bazaar, and I will see to it that they know it. Yeah, the ED Civic Center. It has a nice ring to it, says my character. I'm happy that you're pleased. You've more than earned. And no more donations. Thank you, friend, but no. We have grown as much as I am comfortable with for 1 year, and you have done quite enough already. Know that you have positively impacted the lives of a great many Cruise Bazaar residents, Edie. Be proud of that fact. I mean, I'm doing my part, especially because it's the Cruise Bazaar that's allowing me to run the shadows anyway, because it's my base. And if it weren't my base, then it's also, you know, what I'm saying is I'm just, you know, paying back the, you know, for the rent. It's basically paying rent. Lucky, what's up? Lucky? Hey, I don't mean to be rude. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You could stand outside and just be like, you're not getting in. You're not talking to me. Because that's all I'm there for. Nobody over here. Simi doesn't say anything. Simi is still here, though, so that for a moment there I was like, what happened to Simi? I'm gonna have to have a chat with the... well, I'm still gonna have a chat with the doctor. Exabel. That's the one. Maybe I just pronounced it properly for the first time. But I don't know. It kind of flew off the tongue. But, yeah. Here he is. Welcome back. What can I do for you, my friend? You can't. Take care. I just want... Oh, look at that. He has the boxes. You can see the boxes. So, that leads me to believe that thing is going to play a role sooner or later. If his map is changing, then that you know, it's not... It wasn't left there by mistake or anything. Or left there by mistake. Welcome back, my friend. What can I do? What can old Zach get you? Old Zach can't get me nothing. Change my mind. Toodles. Yes. That was just... I didn't change my mind. I just, you know, wanted to see if there was anything. And we're going to talk to Gunadi over here. And that is that. Thank you very much. We're going to obviously tip the dancer. There we go. $5 or 5 nuyen. There we go. And nobody else is over here. This is not the right place to be. This is the right place to be. We can go to Talismonger's shop to have a chat with Absinthe and with Algernon as well, potentially. But mostly with Absinthe because she's the one that tells me a lot of new things. Although Algernon can tell me about things as well. Interesting. Nothing is really going on in this mission. And this mission changed. Because the last mission also didn't do anything. I would think this one would have done. Hey, pal. I missed you. Okay, this is also confirmation that the changes can be very minor. I was wondering... I was actually about to talk about it. But I was wondering if it is possible that once one character has new dialogue... every character has new dialogue. But that's not the case. The Cammy over here has new dialogue. She puts away her calm and grins at you, a puckish gleam in her eye. I don't know what that means. Hey, pal, I missed you. Got any new stories for me? Actually, I'm curious about Altug. Oh, not... She purses her lips. Not a lot I can tell you that you haven't heard already guessed. Resident Spy Master, Coffee Brewer, Outsider, the official Turk of the Cruise Bazaar. Some shtick. It works for him. He had to make some sort of living here in the Cruise Bazaar, you know. He's not got a trade skill. He's not goblinized, so he couldn't hang with the cruise with the Beckenbauer. Goblinized, I believe, is the is what happens to orcs and trolls. It's a process. It can be... Is it similar to puberty? You know, like maybe orcs and trolls are born like normal. I think that might be the case, actually. And then, you know, they grow into, you know, big, bulky. I don't know. I'm not aware enough of the lore and stuff. She says, if you open a normal shop, he'd be ousted by someone thinking he's stealing their job because he's not German. The coffee shop was a good option because it's obvious. He stays exotic and does what they expect of him with the intel and stuff. She pulls absent-mindedly at some hair in her face. Sorry about the intel dump. It's not really useful information, and you'd probably guessed anyway at this point, but you asked, so. You've been a real doll. Gotten way too much information out of me, though. I'll see you around, yeah? So that's why... She gives me some information, but not very often. Yeah, that's how that works. And that's why it felt a little bit... excuse me. A little bit familiar. In regards to... We don't have anybody in here. In regards to the way she talked. Altug. Altug smiles at you. Okay. I found this liquor in my travels. And I have cheap booze. Worth anything? Huh, no. Not quite. I received cases of this for less discerning clientele. I could offer you maybe 10 nuyen. Sure, I got no use for it. Glad I could be of service. Okay. So I get a little bit of money there for some cheap booze. It's not It's not money for me, obviously. I'm gonna give it all to the dancer down south, but that's just how it goes. 'Cause it's just very little. 10 million is very little. Welcome back. What can I do for you? Show me what you got. And just many things for deckers. Yeah. And maybe some things for riggers. I didn't look very closely, but here we are back in our own base. Whose portrait is that? Oh, it's nobody's. Okay. Blitz. One look at Blitz's face is enough to tell you that something is gnawing at him. He stands beside his table, playing with a coffee spoon. Hi, Edie. What you need? What's going on, Blitz? Well, Chief, I hate to admit it, but I might be in a little bit of trouble here. What sort of trouble? Well, you remember those creditors I told you about? The ones who loaned me all that money? Yeah, well, as it turns out, some of them are a little less forgiving than I thought they were. Okay, keep talking. Well, one in particular seems to have taken things kind of personally. How personally are we talking here? I got a package in the mail that had somebody's thumbs in it. Thumbs? Yeah, thumbs. I came in a cigar box, packed in salt. I have no idea who they belong to. I'm pretty sure they're meant to convey some sort of message. Really? You think so? He nods gravely. Yeah, I'm almost certain of it. I don't want to lose my thumbs, Chief. I like my thumbs. I think that I need to pay this guy back. Luckily, I've got a plan. I know how to get myself out of hot water with meat grinder. I've got it all specced out. Okay, let me get this straight. You took a loan from somebody named Meat Grinder. Hey, Chief, come on. I feel bad enough already about this. There's no need to rub it in. Anyway, like I was saying, I can make it all right again, but I'll need your help to do it. I'm listening. Well, there's this group out in Dragonfall. They call themselves the Landenberg Ring. They're a financial crime organization, and there's a lot of bad blood between them and Meat Grinder's operation. Anyway, back when I was running with the Schwarze Herzen, I laid out the groundwork for a hit on the Landberg Ring. I was never able to make good on it, though. For some reason, none of the other gangers ever volunteered to help out. With your help, I could steal enough money from them to cover my debt and get myself back into Meat Grinder's good graces in the process. So what'd you think? A quick run, just you and me, with me in the Matrix and you as my man on the ground? We hit them, satisfy my debt, and laugh about it on our way back home. Sounds like a plan? It does sound like a plan, actually, but not as an in-character thing, honestly. Let's see. No way is one option. All right is another. I might be interested. I'm always very interesting, although not really. Depending on my cut, I'm not going to say that. All right, Blitz, but in the future, you need to be more upfront with me about things like this. Oh, no problem, Chief. No problem at all. You can count on me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some last-minute stuff to take care of before we get started. Oh, and Edie, thanks. No sweat, Blitz. Meet you at the U-Bahn? No. Not as such, Chief. I won't be physically going to, Dragonfall. I've seen enough of that place for one lifetime. I'll be jacking in from a terminal that I set up here in the Cruise Bazaar. Great. Okay, well, I guess that I'll send you a comm when I get there. Sounds good, Chief. Thanks again. This guy's playing me, but I can take care of myself. And I'm gonna have him buy his balls if this doesn't go well. Hey, Dante, what's up? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? He's a good boy. Look at that. Was that always orange? I think it means that he's an objective. He is an objective. Dietrich, maybe, raises a bottle at your approach. Hey again, boss. You need something? Yeah, any updates on Alexander? Nothing new, boss. He's adjusting. It's gonna take some time. Any thoughts about that last run that you'd like to share? There's nothing about that run that didn't disgust me. What they did to that troll, he shudders. It wasn't right, boss. On any level. I don't care what anyone else tells you. And listen to me, Edie. what you did, killing that thing, it was the right call. Yeah, it cost us some Nuyen, but letting that thing live would have been a travesty. I was thinking about what you told me earlier, by the way. You said that your idol was going to make you pick a fight that you couldn't win? Yeah, it's bound to happen eventually. Probably sooner rather than later. I can't believe that you've accepted this. Believe it, boss. If you could feel him talking to you, you'd accept it too. Even if I didn't accept it, I don't see a viable alternative. I can't just turn away from him, is where my magic comes from, remember? It's probably a moot point anyway. I don't even know if I can refuse him anymore. He's been with me for so long, I don't know where he stops and I begin. Don't worry about me, boss. I've known that this was coming for my entire life. And when it happens, I'll go down in a blaze of glory, the likes of which you can't even imagine. That's a promise. What if you were to pick a fight with a different kind of dragon? Say maybe a gang or a corporation? He pauses for a moment. That's an interesting idea. If it were big enough and heinous enough, he might be satisfied. I've never tried to bargain or negotiate with a dragon slayer before. I'm not sure how I feel about it, and I don't know how he'd take it either. The dragon slayer doesn't like to be questioned, and his temper is even shorter than mine. But I'll tell you what, boss, I'll think about it. Yeah, you can't really believe that your idol wants you to commit suicide. Of course not. The dragon slayer doesn't want me to die, but he does want me to kill dragons. That ain't something to be safe or easy. Or that ain't supposed to be safe or easy. It isn't my idol's fault that I'm getting old or too old to keep up with his wishes. I can see where it's coming from. Anyway, let's go back over here to Blitz and ask him about the last run, because I don't think I got the chance, and I want to do that. I'm a little busy right now, Chief. Gotta get things ready for the bank job, after all. Thanks again for helping out with that, by the way. You're a lifesaver. No problem, Blitz. We'll chat about it after the run. Sounds good. No question about the last run, which I was gonna be interested in, because it's, you know, it's a run that sort of involved him a little bit. At least he had a lot of dialogue. Although, to be fair, so did everybody else. Hey, Eiger, do you want to talk about it? Edie? Any thoughts about that last run? I'm not gonna lie, Edie. This one's gonna stick with me for a while. What they did to that troll was sick. It's probably gonna surprise you, but I'm happy that the Mark 6 is dead. Yeah, Herr Smith was pissed. And sure, our reputation got dinged. Or the other one, I don't know. Neither of those are good things, but I'll take them over being a part of what they were doing to that troll any day. Walking out of a run with a clean conscience is a rare pleasure. Savor it while you can. Do you trust me, Eiger? She pauses for a moment, considering, and finally she nods. Yeah? Yeah, I do. You've earned that much. I haven't always agreed with your decisions, Edie, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge it. Then tell me what happened to your team. Yes, again? Why do you even care, Edie? Because it's pretty clear that if you had your way, you'd still be with them, and a good leader places a priority on knowing his team. She nods slowly. All right, I'll tell you. I suppose that you deserve to know. What happened to us was Hoffman. He was a rookie, the kid of some big money corporate exec. He looked good on paper, and he made it through KSK training, so he was technically qualified to join a team. But he was way too grim to fit in with ours. Still, he wanted to be a hero, and his family had enough clout to get him an assignment of his choosing. I don't know how many strings Hoffman's daddy had to pull to get him assigned to our team, but he pulled them. Hoffman managed our 9th squad mate, or became our 9th squad mate, despite Metzger's objections. Anyway, flash forward a few weeks, we were closing in on one of the Russian mob's major trafficking operations. They'd been using a series of warehouses 50 miles from the border as a staging area for their convoys. Women and girls from Eastern Europe were being housed there. When the convoys came, they'd be crammed into cargo containers and hauled across the border into Germany. Go to any brothel along the border, and have a look around. Chances are you'll find at least a few girls who spend some time in those warehouses. Slovakians, Hungarians, Poles, you name it. The mob has been smuggling them over for decades. But we were in a position to derail their operation, and we weren't going to let our new addition slow us down. We hit them by surprise, and we hit them hard. Fisher and Braun managed to take down the Banshee that they had patrolling the site. Wolf had reconnaissance drones overhead, providing battle tac feeds for the rest of us, and we picked off their gunmen one by one. They had numbers on us, but they didn't know where to hit us. We had eyes in the sky, and we had cover and concealment. Every time they thought that they had a fix on us, we'd shift positions and hit them again. They might as well have been fighting ghosts. Then Hoffman broke cover and gave away our position. And after that, all hell broke loose. Wolf went down first. The sound of it will haunt me for the rest of my days. An explosion, a choked scream, and then this long, drawn-out, gurgling sound. When he died, his drones went down with him, and there were too many hostiles to track without them. I'll spare you the gory details, Edie. Suffice it to say that my team was wiped out. Eiger's face clouds again. You can see the tears beginning to well in her eyes. I watched Metzger die. With a visible effort, she clamps down on her emotions and calms herself. When she speaks again, her voice is flat. I took 3 rounds myself. Had to drag myself back across the Oder-Neisse line into Germany. I almost died. So that's the story. My KSK career died with the rest of the team. Our mission was illegal, after all, off the books. There was no going back for me, so I wound up here. She looks you in the eye. Her tone is impassive. Did that tell you everything you wanted to know, fearless leader? Are you satisfied now? Yeah. Thank you, Eiger. So, tell me, what's your takeaway from my tale of woe? I figure that you've got to have one. Yeah, I have 3, in fact, that I can take away. But just as a reminder, the KSK, I believe, is somebody told me actually, in a comment. That's the German police. She's an ex-cop or ex-military or something. It's their special operations, and that's why they had 9 runners or 10 runners and all this material that I wish we had. Come on, can you imagine having all these people and just drones in the sky? It'd be amazing. Anyway, so we have 3 options here. The first one, when Monica died, you blamed me because I was new to the team, but I'm not Hoffman, Eiger, which is a very nice takeaway. I didn't think about that because I forgot about Monica's death, honestly. That I was not connecting the dots there. I'll have to think about that before I choose that, if I do choose that. You're hung up on the past, Eiger. If you want to survive in the shadows, you'll need to get over it. That sounds... that sounds dismissive. Let me see. What I think here... I don't think she's self-destructive. So this wouldn't be a problem to say that. Because if you're threatening somebody with... if you want to survive... if they don't want to survive, then you're just being counterproductive when you say something like this. But she does want to survive. So I think this might be... Like, I don't know if I want to say that, but I think this might be just being tough on her. Because I'm dismissing something that is clearly affecting her. But I don't think it is hindering her, so it's not like a problem. So I'm really, at the end of the day, I'm just dismissing her reasons for being herself, which is bad to do. Don't do that. Why would you do that? There's no benefit or disadvantage. Anyway, the last one is, it doesn't matter what I think, what you think, and how you act on it is what's important. That doesn't seem right. But this one is it's insightful, so I like it. So I'm going to go with the first one. When Monica died, you blamed me because I was new to the team. But I'm not Hoffman, Eiger. Yeah, I know that. And you're right, to a point. I might have judged you too harshly because of Hoffman, but everything else that I said was justified. Giving you command of this team was a hasty decision, made for the wrong reasons. I stand for that by that assessment. And also, she's wrong about that, but we know that because we have access to Monica's computer. I wonder if it's beneficial to tell her that she's wrong about that, in the sense that it wasn't a hasty decision. Anyway, but between then and now, I have been watching you like a hawk, and you've grown, Edie. You weren't the right choice to lead before. I still believe that, but you are now. Well, thanks, Eiger. Good talk. Until next time. Yeah, it was not a hasty decision. And, in the sense that, you know, Monica had planned it. But if it was the best decision or not, actually, I wonder who it had been. I think she's not fit to lead. A character like hers in Shadowrun, she's too. I don't think she is fit to lead in a Shadowrun team. In the sense that if I were playing a character like hers in a Shadowrun game, I would get my team killed. But I might be misunderstanding her character, of course. But what I'm saying is, like, she's too constricted. She has too many... That line about letting go of the past, if you want to survive, is very true. That is a huge problem in a Shadowrun setting. It's a huge problem in role-playing, in fact. Like, if you're playing a role-playing game, not a computer role-playing game, because, you know, it's different, but a tabletop role-playing game, and if your game master is telling you or giving you things that are dangerous and putting you in positions where you can screw yourself based on how your character acts, if you have pre-assigned traits to your character that can be dangerous, like, for example, not taking very well to authority, or to new authority, for example, even if it has, like, special qualifiers, like, you don't take well to authority that is new to your life. So you're not gonna get in trouble with the guards, but usually in tabletop role-playing game, in a tabletop role-playing game, you're gonna get, you know, new higher-ups introduced to your character just because, you know, you deal with quests and all that sort of stuff. And if you don't you know, deal with their authority, for some reason you're gonna be all bratty about it, you might get yourself into a lot of trouble, especially if the DM doesn't want to accommodate for your character. Which is also a very interesting story for a character like that. And I say that because of a character called Paradin, who had a trait like that and got himself killed. Spoiler alert. And of course, I recorded that. That's the Dungeons and Dragons Let's Play or playthrough that we are doing or were doing in the channel. And Paradin had a fantastic story, but it was a story of... It was a tragedy. You know, tragedies can be fantastic stories. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to tell it very much, so it's for me to enjoy, because I know the character. In fact, well, actually, you can know the character as well if you saw it being created, and you can take your own conclusions on the storyline. But yeah, if you have a character that's too set on their ways and not flexible enough in the setting, like Glory, for example, Glory is super flexible. Like, she's the opposite of Eiger in a lot of regards. Ooh, that is an interesting take, actually, isn't it? Glory and Eiger are opposites. Eiger was even crying just now. Huh. Opposites in some measures, not in every measure, obviously. Their tragic origin story, as it were, is well, it's there. So, how did I turn to Dante just then? Did you notice? Look at that. I turned to Dante when I... That's weird. I can tell him to stay put as well, which means that he's gonna stop following me. Anyway, that's it for this episode, because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Shadowrun Dragonfall. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.